All right. Okay, so I copied and pasted the architectural file on my desktop. That way we can work on it faster. I'm gonna close this out. Okay, so here it is, and I'm gonna rename it, and we're gonna call it conflicts map or something for now. Okay, and we'll open it up. It's gonna be a big file with a lot of sheets. We don't need them all, right? So we need the architectural floor plan. That's really what we're looking for. So I'm gonna go in and delete all the sheets that I don't need. Okay, so I don't need all of those. Okay, this is the path of travel. I don't need that one. Path of travel. I don't need all these notes. So I'm gonna delete this. Remember, this is already on my desktop, right? So I can delete pages because it's not the original. Yeah, don't do this if you were working on the original file. Okay. Okay, so that's still demo. We don't need the demo. Okay, so now, so look, this is actually a good sheet because in one sheet we can see the whole room and all of these things over here, right? But the problem is it doesn't have a lot of detail with dimensions or anything on the walls, right? So that's why this is the overall. These are the better sheets. This actually has dimensions, right? So this is what we want, the detailed. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna create almost like a sheet like this, but with the detailed sheet. So I'm gonna delete this guy. And what I wanna do is combine this sheet and this sheet. So one way to do it is like this. So I'm gonna insert a blank page. And I'm gonna just make it big. I don't know what the biggest is. Let's do 2. No, I mean for now, look, I'm gonna make it even bigger. I'm gonna do it 200 by 200. So there's a big ass sheet, right? And now what I'm gonna do is, to me, this is the important stuff right here. I want to catch this, right? So I don't need all of this information down here, right? So I'm gonna use this tool here. This guy called Snapshot. I click it, and then I'm gonna draw a box over the area that I want, right? So I'm gonna grab the grid line. So I'll grab this area. I'll grab it up to here. Boom, and it loads. Okay, so it seems like nothing happened, right? If I go back to my big sheet, I right click, and I put paste. It brought in that sheet, that area that I just picked, right? Okay, so I did that. Now I want to grab the other half. So I'm going to go to the next sheet. And I'm going to grab this area, right? So then I'm going to go... oh, this thing's in the way. Oh. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing again. Now I'm going to start from the bottom. And remember, I think I started from M. So I'll do M through, and I'll catch the grid lines over here on the right. You see this little blue thing happen over here? As when it's done, that means it's ready. So I go back over here, right click, paste, and it should paste that other view. So now we're going to align them, right? So this guy is at the top, and this guy's at the bottom. And now I'm gonna get close, and we have to find the grid lines to align it. Right, so that's 56. Oh, you see this match line? You see how it says match line? That's this match line, right? So we're gonna match these two match lines, right? But you see how this little white area, I can't see where the match lines are. If I right click, I can send this guy to the back. And now, so what I normally do is I do this. I know where the match line is, right? We know the match line. I'm gonna find a grid line now. So let's find a grid line. So grid line L is right through here. So you see this is grid line L, this little dash line, and the match line, right? So I'm gonna go over here, and I'm gonna find L in the match line. So I'm gonna grab this guy. Okay, and we're gonna align them. Okay, so click here. That's L in the match line. And remember, this is L in the match line right here. Okay, and then I just double check it, right? Okay, I can see, okay, that grid line matches there. Look at the walls are a little off, right? So now I'm gonna go in and move this wall over a little bit just to align them better. There it is. Okay, there you go. And now everything else looks good. I mean, the match lines are matching. You can kind of see the match lines are a little off here. You see them? Yep. So I can move it down a little bit. And now they're closer, right? So again, like for what we're doing for the markup, it's pretty close now. So the walls align a little off. And sometimes there it is. Okay. So now you have one sheet with everything. So remember, I did a big sheet because I wasn't sure how much I needed. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna put these kind of in the middle, kind of give ourselves a little bit of white space on the outside so we can do our markups. Okay. And then, so I have one big sheet now with the room. And you see how, you see how I caught this area, the NIC area and hatch? Maybe I don't want that. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna do it again. So that's the bottom section. I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna take from M. I took from N before. I'm gonna take from N to here. Boom. And I'm gonna go in here, delete this guy, and I'm gonna paste that other one again. And I'm gonna do it again, right? So I'll do L and grid line, roughly right here, and that's L and grid line right there. And I'll check the grid lines here. Very close. The walls look like it's okay. So now I don't have that extra little section over here. Okay. Now it looks good. I can either crop it really tight like this. Oh, actually here. So crop it. What you do is you go to this here, crop pages, and you click it, and then you can crop the page to whatever you want. So I'm gonna crop it right here, and it deletes everything else. So now I have one clean sheet, and you can print this out, and that's your kind of your guide. What I want to do, I want to give ourselves a little bit of white space on the outside, just in case we have notes. Okay, so I'll crop it a little wider. I'll give ourselves a little bit more white space on the outside, kind of like this. Boom, and you'll see why. Boom. So now we have one sheet with the whole plan in there. And I don't need any of these other sheets now. So I'm gonna go in, delete these sheets, and save it. Okay. So one thing I do when I do this, because you're gonna start marking it up. So you're gonna start adding notes, adding text boxes. Sometimes when you're adding text boxes and notes, you accidentally move the plan. So what you wanna do is you click it, and I'm gonna press Shift, click the other one. No, yeah, it's kind of like flatten. So you click them both. I'm gonna right click, and where do I do it? I think it's in the properties. Yep, you see this lock? I'm gonna check the lock. So now, no matter what I do, I can't move them anymore accidentally. These two, you see how they're gray? So they're locked now. If you wanted to move them, you just go in and you press unlock. And now I can move it, right? But you don't want to do it because sometimes you accidentally misalign your sheet. So I'm going to undo and undo. So now it's locked. Okay. So now you have a sheet. It's set up. So I'm going to create one issue for you, right? And then you're going to do the same thing. So right here, I think there's like a pull box here. Remember we saw it yesterday. I don't know if it's exactly here, but it's somewhere in here. There's a pull box from the conveyor or off the bus duct, right? Bus duct panel or something. Okay. But right, so I usually like creating issue numbers. So I'm gonna create issue number 1, and I'm gonna put bus, way, panel, conflict, with wall. Right, so that's your issue 1, and we're gonna create a box. So these are gonna be so then you're gonna call it description, and you're gonna put existing busway, and you're gonna put the name XXXX, has panel with name XXXX, and panel will be in conflict with the wall, with the zero wall, with the wall, and need access from inside room through ceiling. Yeah, and then so that's your description. So here, so for every one of these boxes, you're going to have the description of the name, a description of the issue, and then a proposed solution. Okay. Yep. So the first one is wall framing to box out for panel to intercept wall. The thing is, this is a rated wall, so that may be a problem. You see that? Right? And put this is a rated wall, will need design team to confirm. And I don't know if this is true, right? Because obviously you got to lay out the wall, but let's say this is true. Okay, then the next issue is if panel can stay, MEP systems in the new room will need to maintain access to panel from inside of the room. And then what you do is, this is the panel. I would draw like the access zone, right? And maybe you do a different color, right? Maybe I do no color and I do like a dashed line, right? So that normally signifies that clearance that you need in front of equipment, right? And you'll see it like on electrical drawings, you'll start seeing like little dashed lines in front of the equipment. That's the area that people need to access it, right? And normally it's like 3 feet. So that's your first issue. And then this is where you see how if you were to print this out on a 11 by 17, do you think you could read this text? No, I don't think so. It's too small. No. Yeah. So think about it. You can on an 11 by 17, you can barely read these grid lines, right? This text is half the size, so I got to make it bigger. So I'll make it bigger. Let's go with the 18. Let's see how that looks. Let's see if I can see it. Okay. So what you're trying to do is kind of match your text. You see the size of this text where it says storage, the dimensions. Now they're closer to this, right? So you want to kind of have your text aligned. And the reason why that's important is you're going to start creating a bunch more of these. So the moment you create one that's correct, and then you keep on doing them. So now you kind of start organizing these. Oh, and the last thing you're going to put is images. And then you're going to put C, image 1, 2, and 3, right? And you're going to bring in the images into this PDF, right? So now, yep. And then you bring them in here. So now let's say that's another issue. You got a light fixture there. I created a circle. This little note works good. I'm gonna right click, copy, right click, paste. I'm gonna kind of organize it. I like kind of aligning them. I go here, and I'm gonna put issue 2, light fixture, conflict with new wall, and you're gonna describe it, and then your proposed solution is shift lights to the, I guess it'd be the east 2 feet, or eliminate lights, or shift, because think about it, you don't want to shift them more into the room because the room already has lights, right? And look, one thing you got to check is go to the demo drawings and see maybe these lights are already called out to be demoed and it may not be a conflict. You got to check that, right? So that's image 4 and 5. Okay, and I got to cut it off because and then you change this to issue number 2. And then you can just shrink the box, right? If you don't need the extra room, you can play with don't make them extra big, shrink it and kind of move it along. So now you kind of have a little Bible of all these little issues that you have, right? And then let's say there was remember, I think we had conduits running, right? So you would draw the conduits, and really the issue is you're going to have box out the framing for conduits, and you're going to have it here, and you're going to have it here, right? Let's say you have the same issue twice, kind of like that. You don't create 2 boxes, right? Let's say this is issue 3. Conduit conflict with wall. Let's say you have that issue here and over here. You don't need another box. If you click shift on your keyboard, you see my arrow, I'm pointing at the little circle. Alex, you see how there's a little circle? All right, and if I press shift, you see how there's a little plus now? You look at my little arrow here. You see that's a black arrow? If I press shift, there's a little plus now on the arrow. And I click, and I can create another arrow. 2 arrows off the same box. Right? So now you have 2 arrows coming off. Right? So this is where, yeah. Let's say you have multiple lights. Right? You can, yeah. Yeah. So I go to the circle, press shift, I get the little plus, I click, and then I click on that light, I press shift again, click, press that light. So now I'm pointing to all 3 lights off the same box. Okay, all right, I gotta go to my meeting. I'm gonna save the video, and I'll send you I'm not gonna send you this file. I want you to do your own. Right? I'll send you the video though.